Got some tea here. Alright. But I got a package and I'm going to open it because I'm excited. Bing, bing. Here we go. Ready? Look at that. Alright. I think they came out pretty good. Let's get some good old close-ups. I actually got my signature on there this time. Alright, cool. So, yeah, this month, December, patrons will get this postcard, which I'm very proud of. And then they will also get this sticker. There's the Patreon rewards for this month. Ooh, I'm happy. Alright, I think I'm just going to take pictures of these for Instagram and then call it a night. It's really early, but I'm going to call it a night.
So I want you guys to just try to make these consonants like this. And so
Alright, hello everyone, welcome to the voiceover part of the vlog. Editing this vlog felt a little surreal because, as you'll see, I was pretty productive and I was pretty on top of things and I felt extremely energetic, and then immediately after this I got sick and was on my couch for a couple days. So, watching all this footage is kind of like watching a separate person, like it wasn't even me. But yeah, this was a weird week. I feel like I really crossed a barrier, overcame an obstacle, I guess, in sort of my mindset when it came to my art. So something I've been struggling with was feeling like I was working too hard on every episode of my comic. And that's a very painful feeling because you feel like you shouldn't work so hard, but then after you've been working really hard and you kind of pull back, you feel like you're cutting corners. So this whole day, that's kind of what, this whole week, I guess, that's what was kind of going through my head is I need to allow myself to not try so hard. And will anyone don't notice? Like, will the comic look like it's going down in quality if I don't try so hard? But on this particular day, this Thursday, I just kind of felt like I was starting to let go of it, and it was starting to feel kind of liberating. So I did a bunch of my work, and then while my assistant was here coloring, I just moved straight into cleaning my house because if you ever need to like clear your head and think, cleaning your house is one of the best ways to do it. So that's where the house cleaning clips come from, is I was having an existential crisis when it comes to art style. I hope today comes across as a very fun vlog because I'm having a great day. Just I'm in like super hustle mode right now. I have candy in my mouth, sorry. Okay, so yeah, I am in super hustle mode with the comic and stuff, but I'm like riding on some kind of like hustle high, you know, where it's just like can't stop, won't stop. Anyway, that's where I'm at right now. Well, actually, right now I'm driving. All right. I'm no longer driving. All right, we're here at Michael's. I don't know what I said before because I was blah. Clearly, I'm in a much better headspace now. Okay, so I'm in like super duper hustle mode because I don't have a comic buffer anymore. The only comic progress I have right now is the episode that I want to go up on Saturday. I don't have like 3 episodes going at once right now, so I feel like I'm almost behind, but I'm not behind yet. So I'm kind of in this super excited hustle mode to stay on track. And then also, as of this morning, I think I am 5 subscribers away from 5,000 subscribers. So I'm just like running on this super duper comic artist high, and we'll see where it takes us. But right now I'm going into Michael's to buy a large piece of paper. Essentially right now I am trying to find other things to do so my hand can have a break for a couple hours, and then I'll go back to working on the comics. So let's go inside Michael's for my health. It's for my wrist. Okay, I'm going to Michael's for my health. Quality footage right here. That is a large piece of paper. It is bigger than what I need by just a tiny bit. I was gonna try a new coffee shop today, but I drove by and it was completely packed. I couldn't even tell if there was seating, so we're at a oldie but a goodie. Yeah, I'm going to Espresso Royale. But it's starting to spit snow a little bit. Like the tiniest bit of snow. Can you see it? Okay, so after my assistant left, he uses my iPad to do the coloring. So after he left and I had the iPad, I went to a coffee shop to do more inking and more thinking. Something that I had kind of been approaching, the idea that I've been kind of approaching is if my line art was a bit more solid, if I kind of took the line art up a notch, maybe I wouldn't have to try so hard with the coloring. So this footage, it's kind of therapeutic because I was just drawing all of these bricks in the background that you'll see. I just drew bricks pretty much the whole week. But as I was inking them, I was just kind of like, maybe I'm trying too hard when I color the comic, and maybe I can just try a little harder with the inking, which is kind of more what comes naturally to me anyway, and just take off some pressure from the coloring. So I don't know if it shows in the art, but some really, really deep thoughts were going on at the coffee shop this day. Alright, progress was made, but I need to take a break. I have done so much drawing today. It's not optional at this point. I absolutely have to take a break and let my arm rest. So the plan is I'm gonna make cookies, and I'm not gonna do any drawing while they are cooking. I'm trying to take off 1 hour as a break. I don't want to hurt myself. Okay, but part of what we're gonna do on break is open some mail that I got. I do believe this is an Inktober book from Alex in Spain. I don't know if this is Vide or Vide. I don't know. Oh man. This is his collection of all of his Inktober work. And I think it has some bonus art in it as well that wasn't posted on Instagram. Right? I feel like since it has some exclusive stuff, I don't want to show too much. Like, that's the whole point of exclusive. Let me flip through real quick. Such good quality. It's got like sketches and stuff. Alright, yep. This is a good purchase. Oh, I'm excited to peruse that. Maybe that's what I'll do while I'm taking a break. But for right now, gonna go make cookies. My iPad's charging anyway, so it's not like I could do stuff. Let's go. You can go with me. Let's go make cookies. All right, and then we come to this lovely cookie making montage. This was all the same day. Like I mentioned, I was trying to give my hand a break because I just inked so much this day. So much. It was insane. Like I really did have to just stop because I could feel my muscles getting tense and tired, and it was, on the one hand, I suppose not good to push yourself to that limit, but I did stop. I did take a break and I did not injure myself, so it's okay. But I just was really enjoying myself, and the more I played with this idea of a simple, not quite minimal, but a more simple coloring style where like the episodes just wouldn't take so long. Here's the thing. I don't mind doing hard work when it comes to art. I don't mind drawing things that are challenging. I don't mind stepping outside my comfort zone to a certain degree. But when it comes to making comics, I could spend all day on inking and it feels great. I do not feel great after coloring. I feel burnt out. I don't feel confident in the results. Like, coloring still is not my comfort zone. Inking very much is. So as this day went on and I continued to ask myself, am I allowed to let go of coloring a little bit? And I started thinking about what would the comic making process be like if coloring was a quick step and inking was the big step. And I found myself getting so excited for this idea. And this idea did not come out of nowhere. I've talked with a couple people about it and chatted with this feeling of kind of just I think my comic work is not what I want it to look like. Which is, frustrating when you work hard and it's still wrong somehow. But yeah, throughout this day, I just kept thinking, noticing how excited I felt when I was inking, and how excited I felt about the idea that maybe my coloring needs to be simplified and the shading needs to be simplified, and I need to not think so hard about it because I don't like thinking about coloring the way I like thinking about inking and texturing with the line art, and line art is just the best and coloring is just not. So Alright, so here's the last and the longest voiceover section of this vlog, so bear with me. So quick note, what I'm working on that you can see in some of this footage is I really wanted to make a big kind of graphic piece for my wall. By graphic, I mean kind of I always think of it as design-y. So really bold, kind of pop art-ish maybe. So I got a frame from the thrift store that came with this pretty good watercolor in it. I got the frame. I'm working on my own large piece of Dazer to go in the frame, and I'll show you that probably in the next vlog, maybe. I don't know. So anyway, that's what this is all about. But to kind of, I want to wrap up what I've been saying in this vlog about simplifying the coloring style, and I feel kind of bad because I didn't really show what I mean. I guess that'll have to be in a future vlog, or maybe in the, I don't know if the Webtoons episode will be up yet, but essentially I had this idea. I thought about all of this while I was not working on the comic, to be clear. Like over Thanksgiving and stuff, I thought about this outside of working on the comic. What if my shading had a more simple, pretty consistent palette, and what if the shading was basically just cell shading? Like it's just the sharp, flat shading that looks very stylized. But then to keep it from feeling so stark, I just put a texture on things, you know? So I did an episode that way. It's the episode that you guys have seen me working on in this vlog, but I don't have the finished episode up yet. But I tried it out, and it felt, on one hand, it went so fast, and it felt so good to be done in a timely fashion. Like I didn't spend 2 weeks shading the darn thing. So on the one hand, it felt great, but on the other hand, like I just kind of knew I was sort of like pulling my artistic punches, so to speak. Like I knew I could make the shading more complex, and I could add all this crazy highlighting, and I just knew all the stuff that I was actively choosing not to put in there. And it didn't feel bad, as in the art looks bad. I just kind of felt like people are gonna know that I'm not doing my absolute, like, most showing off best on every panel. They're gonna know. But the more I felt that way, the more I was like, well, that's a terrible reason to change your art styles, to just show off what you can do. I don't want my style to just be about showing off. Like, look at me. I know how to do reflected highlights. Me. So yeah, kind of the negative feeling that I had, it's kind of like when, if you've been on social media a lot and then you take a break and you notice how much you miss it, and it's like a negative feeling, but you're really glad that you finally noticed how much you need it, and you're like telling yourself like, wow, that's really bad. I shouldn't have this feeling. That's kind of what it was like. I was missing all the shininess and blending and all that, but I just don't think the comic needs it. Anyway, I don't know. I might post the next episode and everyone's like, why? What happened? Did you break? Is the artist broken? But the overall process was so much more enjoyable and left me feeling so enthusiastic that it's worth it. I'm gonna take the chances and take my chance. Take a chance, and we're gonna go with a simple shading style. So that's happening now. Yeah, I think the other thing that it left me feeling was more in control. Like I don't have to use every artistic trick in the book to make good art. I could actually pick and choose what works for me, what works with my abilities and my schedule. And I don't have to do everything, use all of my knowledge all at once on every project. The whole point of knowing how to make art, the whole point of learning different ways of making art is so that you can pick and choose tools that work for you. So yeah, I feel like I was able to let go of the pressure to use everything I know and just use what I need. So sorry I don't have the images to show you what in the world I'm even talking about, but hopefully in the next vlog I can do a better job of showing you what I mean. So yeah. Thank you guys for watching and sticking with me throughout this vlog. Hope you got something out of it. Special thank you to patrons for supporting me over on Patreon. And yeah, with that, I will close out this vlog and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.